A lot of excitement around the University of Alabama. We talked to Chris Kirscher about this last week. The California offensive lineman by the name of Tommy Brown committing to the University of Alabama. He's a four-star guy. He's 6'7" and 315 pounds, and I think I've got that right. Tommy Brown, welcome into the game here in Tuscaloosa. I hope you're doing well, sir.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Looking forward to talking to you and going through a lot of the details and spending some time, your decision about the University of Alabama. Let's just get right to it. Why did you commit to the University of Alabama? What pushed it over the top?
Well, I mean, it was really a business decision for me. Other than the fact that Alabama has been a dream school for what it came down to is, as being more than a dream school, was Alabama simply wins championships and it puts their linemen in the NFL. And that's what I want to do. I want to play in the NFL and I want to win championships. So when it came down to it, it was Alabama all the way.
So you were here last week for the cookout. Give us some details about that and sort of what that process was like.
For the barbecue?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the cookout, right?
Yeah, the cookout. It was a lot of fun actually. It was just really getting to meet all the other recruits and have some bonding time with most of the coaches. I was in early because I was hanging out with the guys and with Coach Key, and so I got to see all the players, all the other recruits come in, and we just got to play some cornhole, eat some good food, and then got to try on the uniform, which was first time I got to try. It was the full pads with the helmet and the jersey and the pants, and it was surreal. It was my first time putting on the uniform completely, and I mean that's a dream come true for me. And you can't really describe a dream come true unless you felt it, and it was amazing.
Tommy, I'm just curious, did you come to Tuscaloosa knowing that you were going to commit?
I did, yes.
All right, so walk us through that. I mean, who did you tell first that hey, I'm fixing to pull the trigger, man? I'm fixing to roll with the Crimson Tide. Was it Nick Saban? Was it Brent Key? Was it both of them? Sort of, how did you tell them that you were going to come to the University of Alabama?
Well, it was actually Coach Key. I mean, the weeks after they offered me, I talked to Coach Key regularly, and that's when I was really coming down to the decision. And it was really talking to my dad, who's actually an Alabama grad. He just said that it's up to you, and if you feel like Alabama's the best way, I don't think anyone will question your reasons to go in there. So I actually called Coach Key. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks they offered me, and I was walking into football practice. I called Coach Key and I said, I want to pull the trigger. I want to be an Alabama offensive lineman. So then they had me call Coach Saban the next day and talk to Coach Saban, and so they both knew when I was coming there that I was going to pull the trigger there.
I'm just curious, growing up as an Alabama guy, your father with his affiliation back to the University of Alabama, this is his alma mater, and having a chance to talk with one of the greatest college coaches that have ever walked the sidelines. I mean, what's it like? I mean, to be able to talk with Nick Saban and tell him that you want to be a part of the program.
It's pretty amazing, honestly. As a kid, I always wished I'd play for Nick Saban, and now that it's coming true, it's surreal, really. When I was sitting there in his office with my mom and dad next to me talking to Coach Saban, I couldn't believe it. It was a dream come true, and it's really a blessing for me to be able to say that I will be playing for Coach Saban, and we talk regularly. So it's something that I didn't think was going to happen when I was little, and then as I grew, I got bigger, and people were like, "Well, you might be pretty good at football." And I never played football until my freshman year of high school, so getting developed into a player that can play at Alabama now is pretty amazing for me.
You were also recruited by Tosh Lapoy for one, and I know I want to get to Brian Daboll coming up in a couple of minutes, but Tosh is one of those ace guys. What is it about him that makes him so effective as a recruiter?
Tosh is amazing. He's the area recruiter for California, so he talks to me regularly. He's also a California guy. He played at Berkeley, which was the school I was also considering, and he's just seems like he'd be like one of the guys playing with you. He's awesome, and he's a fun guy to talk to.
All right, let's pick your brain a little bit. I'm as a reporter, I'm always looking for little tidbits and stuff. We've heard a lot of amazing things about Brian Daboll behind the scenes. We won't talk with him until next Saturday. Will be the first opportunity that Nick Saban will give us to talk with Brian Daboll. Give us some insight into this new offensive coordinator at Alabama.
I mean, Coach Daboll is a football genius, I want to say. He actually reminds me a lot of my offensive coordinator at Mater Dei. Just the way they dress, the way they act, and the way that they study football is it's kind of scary. Like, they could be brothers. It's pretty amazing, and they're both awesome guys. And Coach Daboll just seems like he obviously knows how to win. The things he's done in the pros, and I'm excited to see what he'll bring to Alabama and how much more winning we'll be doing once everything gets started.
He seems like a very personable guy. He just seems to be, as far as personality, he seems to be able to connect with a lot of different people. Yeah,
definitely. He definitely seems he definitely could connect with anyone. I mean, talking with him, we just like I like how he talks about the O-line. I mean, I'm a little biased and trying to work him in, try to maybe get a tackle screen by the time I'm there and see if that will be worked into the playbook. But
so you're already campaigning for a tackle screen?
I mean, gotta put it in early, see if it's able to get in there.
No, I like the attitude, man. I mean, that's like a true offensive lineman right there, man. You want that tackle screen.
Obviously. I mean, I've been trying to work my offensive coordinator at Mater Dei. He put it in when I was a sophomore. He put it in for the senior level. We'll actually run it because Frank Martin, who's at SC now, I mean, he's a great athlete, but I feel like I could catch the ball a lot better than him. So might as well put it in and run it, see if we can get a couple touchdowns with it.
Now, have you been practicing with hands, making sure you catch the football correctly? I mean, is that something that you work on a little bit?
Well, I mean, I have two brothers. My older brother is actually up north playing baseball right now. He plays baseball for the University of Cal State Fullerton, and my little brother, him and I play catch all the time. So I mean, I feel like I could catch a ball pretty easily. It's what I've been doing all my life. So I'm not worried about dropping a ball.
Let me ask you, when you look at Alabama on the offensive direction, where do you think they're going?
I mean, I feel like they're just going to keep it how it was. Why change something that isn't broken? They've always won with the offenses they've had, and I love to watch Jalen back there swing it, and then something happens, he can always run it. So it's pretty amazing how good of an athlete he is and the amount of athletes he has around him, what can happen.
Tommy, I'm just curious, will you be an early enrollee? Will you be a guy that will arrive here in January, or do you think it'll be June of maybe summer session number 1 of 2018?
Well, it's probably going to be June because my dad actually holds the shot put record at my high school, and that's why he went to Alabama. He threw the shot put 1981 and 82, Coach Bryant last year, and he holds the shot put record at Mater Dei. He talks a lot of smash because I've been I got to break that shot put record, and this year's my final year that I can get out there and hopefully take him down a notch from all that smash talk he does.
Hey, Tommy, I'm just curious, when you look at it, how close are you to breaking that record?
I'm at 55-11 right now. The record's 61-4. So I've jumped about 5 feet each year, so hopefully this year I'll be able to jump out there and take it.
Have you thought about your major at the University of Alabama?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll do business. The plan is after football, if football ends at the University of Alabama or if it ends in the NFL, I want to go work for my uncle, who's actually a beer distributor in Mexico. Not in Mexico, in New Mexico. And so I feel like a business degree would really help me make the connections and be ready to go in there and distribute some beer.
Tommy Brown right now, the newest commitment for the University of Alabama, and a lot of people are reacting. They can feed off your excitement. I mean, it's always fun. We could talk with one of those players that understands, what that crimson jersey really stands for. I mean, we talk about it every day at 5 o'clock. I go through the credentials for Alabama football, and I talk about 16 national titles, 26 SEC titles, 66 postseason appearances, 124 first-team All-Americans. I mean, I can see just by talking to you that crimson jersey is going to mean something to you when you put it on for the very first time.
Well, I mean, wow, it gave me goosebumps putting it on. My first time actually wearing a crimson jersey was this spring. I visited with my quarterback, JT Daniels, and a new transfer to my school. His name's Solomon Tuliapupu. He's a 5-star linebacker, and we visited over in the spring. And that was my first time putting on the number 75 crimson jersey, and it gave me goosebumps. And it was really amazing. I've always watched the Crimson Tide, and it's pretty amazing what they do. And so just being able to put on the jersey and know that for the next 4 or 5 years that I'll be putting on that jersey and hopefully playing on that field is something I can't describe, really. It's just a dream come true, honestly.
We are talking right now to Tommy Brown as we visit with him. Tommy, let me ask you, going through the recruiting process, what was some of the other schools that you considered?
I mean, there were a lot of schools that offered me, and it came down to Oregon, Cal, Michigan, and UCLA, and then Alabama, obviously. But when it really came down to it, it was Alabama and Oregon, and it was really hard telling Coach Chris Gall, the former Alabama offensive line coach, that I was going to his old school and not his new school, and it was a very tough decision for me.
Tommy, when you look at the facilities, Alabama and Oregon, are they comparable? Because we hear a lot of great things about Oregon's facilities.
Yeah, they're definitely the two best in the nation, in my opinion. Definitely think Oregon has just that little bit more, just because they have that contract with with Nike, and it's kind of unfair. But the facilities are facilities. Each school has them, and Alabama happens to be one or two in the nation, and so does Oregon. But they're both great facilities, and it is pretty breathtaking. If you ever take a visit to Oregon, stop by the facilities, and you'll be impressed.
17 offers to Tommy Brown around the college country. Tommy, are you completely shutting it down? Is this it and nobody else? Are you hitting return to sender on those emails and letters in the mailbox? Is this it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% Alabama. I've been an Alabama fan all my life, and now to say that I'll be playing for them is a dream come true, and I don't see why anything else would sway me to another school.
Tommy, just curious, will you help Tosh Lapoy and Brian Daboll and Brent Key and Nick Saban? I mean, will you now become a recruiter for Alabama? You going to call some of these guys and try to encourage them to be a part of the class?
I mean, I'm friends with a lot of the top recruits, and I mean, I have a lot of top recruits just on my team, and I'm not going to forcefully say Alabama all the time to them. I mean, I just hope the best for everyone, but those top guys that are in between Alabama and another school, I definitely will be whispering Roll Tide in their ears every now and then.
Got it. Well, listen, Tommy, on all of us here in Tuscaloosa, certainly looking forward to covering your career at the University of Alabama. We wish you nothing but the best. It's going to be a lot of fun to be able to talk with you and follow your days here in Tuscaloosa. Congrats to you. I know it's a lot of excitement around this time of the year, but you got to get ready to go play some high school football for the upcoming year. Certainly, we wish you best of luck there. Thank you again for spending a couple of minutes with us. It's certainly been an honor to be able to talk with you, and congrats on your decision to play football for the University of Alabama.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be on the show.